We've made it through a brutal weather week in the GMC, and we're ready to go with some great action as we head towards spring break and Easter vacation across the conference. Got a great look at South Brunswick versus St. Joe's Metuchen this week. Coverage of the Fred Cole Memorial Scholarship Game. We've got our first look at a GMC Super 7 player spotlight and much more. It's all ahead on this edition of GMC The Quest, coming up next. And welcome, everybody, to this episode of GMC Baseball, The Quest, our look at some of the things that happen each week in the GMC. Wanted to take a moment to thank Eli Gries-Smith for some of the great pictures and video that you've seen on the show the last couple of weeks. You can get in touch with Eli on Instagram at Eli Plays Baseball if you want to have him come out and shoot your games. He took the great openings that we had today for St. Joseph's Metuchen's Donovan Zach and South Brunswick's Joey Tudelmondo. Those two highlighted a great matchup that we saw on Monday up in Metuchen. That happens to be our featured game of the week. You can go all year and not get a better pitching matchup than this one. For St. Joe's, University of Virginia signee Donovan Zach, the senior, and for South Brunswick, Joey Tudelmondo. He's the 2023 High Point University commit. These guys go at it. Donovan coming out smoking in the first 2 innings, 6 strikeouts. This one hits 96 on the gun and continues by striking out the side in the first. Second inning, more of the same. A lot of fastballs, guys just swinging under him. And Donovan strikes out 6 batters, all 6 he faced the first 2 innings, looking strong. Tudelmondo comes out matching him with some firepower of his own, getting the high fastball strikeout there, showing a devastating breaking ball on this one, and then getting the called third strike for this strikeout, one of 9 that Joey Tudelmondo gets on the day. So with hitting at a premium, you have to take advantage of the rare mistakes. St. Joe's gets 1 run on a wild pitch there in the first, and then some 2-out magic in the second. Josiah Brown with a key 2-out double, scoring 1 run here to give St. Joe's an early 2-0 lead. The very next batter for St. Joe's, Mark Gialusi. He comes through with an RBI single just out of the reach of the second baseman, makes it 3-0. South Brunswick gets some offense back in the third as they take advantage of some rare mistakes. A wild pitch there. Donovan Zach getting a little sloppy in the third inning. Scores 1 run there. Scores a second run on a wild pitch. Makes it 3-2. But then, bam, Donovan Zach comes back. Strikeout number 7. Strikeout number 8. Strikeout number 9 to get through the third. In the 4th inning, his final inning of the day, here comes number 10. And 2 more, 11 and 12. Zach, the maximum number of strikeouts, 12 in 4 innings. He's 22 of his 23 outs this year have come by the K. Joey Tudelmondo's turn now. Tudelmondo gets a strikeout here. As we said, 9 on the day for the South Brunswick hurler, one of the best in the state in the 2023 class. He's showing why against St. Joe's lineup. First hit of the day for South Brunswick comes off of reliever Brian Rios. It's Tionis Pimentel with a 2-out double. He gets in the scoring position. Suddenly, South Brunswick 1 hit away from tying the game. But Rios regroups, gets a key ground ball here to get through the inning, gets to the bottom of the 5th where St. Joe's gets another insurance run with 2 outs. Robbie Carvelli punches a base hit up the middle, makes it 4-2, and then Rios takes over, closes it out in style here in the 7th. 1 strikeout, gets the next batter here, swinging on a great breaking ball. Then the final out, again, striking out the side in the 7th. St. Joe's wins a tight one, 4-2 over South Brunswick. And our weekly highlight reel starts at Fred Cole Field in Old Bridge on Tuesday night as both Old Bridge and Monroe paid tribute to the late coaching legend
who passed away last year. With Cole's wife Ellen and daughter Shayna in attendance, the teams awarded scholarships in coach's name to a pair of seniors, Nick Solari of Monroe and Will Kennedy of Old Bridge. And then the game started, and the night belonged to two Monroe sophomores. Here's Lucas White banging out not one, not two, but 3 base hits for Monroe, and that in itself was plenty of offense for Falcons ace Harrison Lawlin. Lawlin, shown here, cruised through 5 innings. He struck out 12 batters, and Monroe picked up a hard-earned 7-1 win. Also Tuesday to the Swamp, 3-3, Spotswood Metuchen, and then Roman Carone. Roman Carone, base hit. Run scores, Spotswood wins 4-3. There's mass jubilation at the Swamp. Spotswood stays unbeaten. Big win and a walk-off for Roman Carone. Bit of rough weather on Wednesday, which sent us over to the turf field over at Edison for this GMC Red Division showdown. South Plainfield, a rough start in week 1, getting their legs under them. Here it's Luke Bakunis clearing the bases with a double. Those 3 RBIs in itself, more than enough offense. Jack Massett getting the win on the mound. He carries South Plainfield to a 9-2 win. As for the weather Thursday and Friday, we brought in Forrest Gump to let us know.
One day, it started raining, and it didn't quit for 4 months. We've been through every kind of rain there is. A little bit of stinging rain, and big old fat rain. Rain that flew in sideways, and sometimes rain even seemed to come straight up from underneath.
Then finally, we get some clearing on Saturday. Wasn't a great day, but good enough for Monroe to travel to J.P. Stevens. And Lawlin, pitching earlier this week, shows us he can swing it too. There's a bomb to left. C.J. Wisniewski, quote-unquote older brother, shows him how to do it later in the game. He watches that one fly far away to center. Monroe picking up the big win. We finish up Monday with the hottest team in the GMC Red. Aaron Warner, strike 3, ball game over. Much rejoicing. 5 in a row for East Brunswick, beating Perth Amboy 7-3.
Back now on this episode of GMC The Quest. Now it's time for our weekly player spotlight. Today we look at one of the Old Bridge players who stands out on the field not just because of his size, but also because he's one of the top power hitters in the GMC. Today we look at Old Bridge catcher Kyle McSorley on this week's Player Spotlight. Here on GMC The Quest, we are at the Player Spotlight. We're going to take a look at one of the top players in the GMC, and we are here with Old Bridge catcher Kyle McSorley. Looks big even on screen here, one of the bigger guys in the GMC. Thank you for coming on, Kyle.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, Old Bridge baseball. You guys have gotten a reputation through the years of being like a pitching dominating team, always having the arms, and seems to be the case again this year, right? Certainly 1 and 2 with Christian Kraus and Justin Herbstman. Tell us about some of the guys that you get the fun of catching, and how that kind of stands up for you this year.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bunch of good arms this year, from our freshmen to our seniors. We have a lot of guys that know how to throw. Our pitching coach, Coach Benetti, he's been helping us through the years, and he's doing a great job with all our guys. I really genuinely enjoy catching all my pitchers. I don't have a guy that's like, hey, it's his day to throw. I'm like, all right, I'll get my gear on. But it's genuinely a good day when I'm back there and I just got my guys throwing on the mound.
Yeah. Differences though, right? I mean, certainly differences between different looks with Christian and Justin. Is it tougher for you to deal with some, or is that part of the fun of catching?
That's definitely part of the fun. Starting out with pitchers and catchers, you get to see everybody, see everyone's improved from last year, and really be able to tell what it's going to look like this year. Justin is always going to be a kid that's going to go out there and have a different movement on each of his pitches every day. Something's going to run differently every day. Some will curve different on you every day, but that's part of the fun of it too. Christian's the same way, you know. His fastball, he'll have some genuine hard cut to it, and then the next pitch he'll throw a two-seamer that is on the kid's hands. So you really never know with the two of them where something's going to end up.
Now, we established before we came on that you've always been big.
Yeah.
Have you always been a catcher?
No, I started out playing third, you know, from when I was like 8, 9, 10. And then I started catching probably around 10 years old. I gave it up for a while, probably around like 13 and then 14. And I started it around the beginning of my freshman year. So I started catching the beginning of my freshman year. And it was a rough start. It was a lot of learning. It was a good experience. It was a bad experience at the same time. Definitely got a lot of work in, but I'm glad I stuck with it through the years.
Definitely, and it's fun watching you kind of command your presence behind the plate. What do you like most about it?
It's a big part of the field. You play a big role. I really like taking control of the field, seeing what I can and can't do out there, and just lead my guys to however far we can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the pitching is there like usual for Old Bridge, but you know, probably what'll come down to how far you get. Looks like you guys have a better lineup than the last couple of years as far as you know, hitting team. I know you play in the summer year round with you know, not just Justin, who is a good hitter and is certainly a great outfielder in his own right, but also Mike Villani. You know, some of the other bats you have. Give us a you know, a breakdown on the Old Bridge lineup.
Yeah, so we have leading us off. We got Giovanni Fuda. He's probably one of the fastest kids I've ever met. He'll just drop one down every once, and he'll just make his way to third before he can even blink. But following him up, it's either going to be Frank Papio, who's a sophomore, plays for Baseball Warehouse, and he was with us last year as a freshman, and he got up there and really shocked us a few times. I mean, he put a few balls to the center field wall, and it's really going to come down to where and when we're going to hit. But the same thing with Mike. Mike's always going to be a guy that's like, hey, we need a single this way, we need a double this way. Always going to get it done. And
Frank, we should say, is the younger brother of or his older brother Joe is one of the weekend starters at Riders. So great baseball family, and Frank's the younger brother of Tommy. You got a ninth grade Papio on the team.
Yeah, so Frank's a sophomore, and then Tommy's a junior here.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So Tommy's been with us the whole time, and great. He's a great kid. I mean, he easily has one of the best gloves in the GMC, and then he put a ball to the wall in opening day. Put a ball to the wall, ground roll double. I think he had 3 hits opening day. But he had a great performance, and it's going to continue throughout the year. You can tell really this year the confidence that we're swinging the bats with, and overall we're really going to hit through and through anywhere in our lineup. There's not a weak spot in our lineup.
Definitely. What's your favorite part about playing in the GMC?
It's always going to be a competition. There's not one game where like, hey, you know, it's a run through. No, it's always going to be a fight no matter what. Like you saw with East Brunswick, we came out winning the first game by 6, and the tables turned a little bit, and that's always how it's going to be. It's never going to be, hey, you win this one, it's a guarantee. There's no guarantees in GMC.
You like to set up with the schedule, the back-to-backs like that, because I know it seemed to bring out the best when I saw you guys in East Brunswick, right? You got them pretty good the first game, and they came out real fired up for the second one. You know, Mike Marchese did a great job pitching. You like the way that the schedule set up?
Absolutely, I like it. I like it better this year. This way, you know, you can turn around pretty quick. You don't go say, hey, we got to wait these 2 weeks to play these guys again. You can say, hey, we're gonna get right back to it. We know what to expect. We seen them yesterday, and now we're gonna get right into it. And then it all comes down at the end of the year in the GMC tournament, and you see him opening day, and you don't see him for a while, and you never know what can change.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're right, because you could go a month and a half without seeing a team and catch them in the first round or second round or something.
Exactly.
Favorite baseball team?
Got to go with the Yankees. Been a lifelong Yankees fan.
Too many Yankees fans in the GMC, I've noticed. It's all right, I guess. But favorite player?
Favorite player right now? It's a tough question. Haven't thought about this one in a while, but I'm probably gonna have to go. Probably gonna have to go with Aaron Judge right now.
Big guy taking the big guy. I see.
Exactly.
The only person on the field anywhere bigger than you.
As of now, he is.
As of now, that's right. That's right. Favorite pregame meal or game day meal? Because there's 10 o'clock. There's 10 o'clock Saturday games. They're early.
Yeah, 10 o'clock Saturday game. So far, our Saturday game, I'll probably open up with just classic peanut butter and jelly. It just gets the job done, you know.
Music. If it's, I don't know how it works, who gets to choose the pregame music, anything like that. But if it was your choice, what would we have on it?
If we had, I'd probably go with a good country playlist. You can't go wrong there. It's what we got going on our pregame always, and I just seem to enjoy it every time. It really fits the setting.
Play other sports. Obviously, you have the size to whether it's football, basketball, something that the size could take advantage of. But were you always just baseball?
No, so I played soccer my freshman and sophomore year. This was the first year.
That would not have been my guess.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I was a goalie. So freshman year I played, and then sophomore year I played a few games on varsity, and then I kind of hung them up for my junior year. Kind of focused just on baseball here.
One thing we don't know about Kyle McSorley.
One thing you don't know. One thing is I love to fish. That's one thing that I've found a real passion for in the past years. I love to fish wherever it is.
So are you right? Because Sportica, you get to go and play these tournaments in different places in the summer. Are you somebody who's always bringing your rod and you're getting out there somewhere to go to fish while you're away on tournaments?
Definitely, yeah. We were in Georgia this year, and we didn't have a lot of time. We had a busy schedule, but we packed them up. We packed them up. We had them, and we were ready to go whenever we could. But definitely this year when we're down in Florida, we're gonna probably extend this trip into a fishing trip. Gonna get a few days out there and just see how it goes, because Florida is definitely one of my favorite spots to go fishing, whether it's the Keys or whatever, East Coast, West Coast, wherever it is.
Sounds like you're not the only one in your family that likes it then.
No, it's my dad too. Yep.
So if you ever catch him not at a game down there, he's probably out fishing or something while you're
playing. He's either playing golf or fishing, so either one.
Excellent. We appreciate the time, Kyle. Best of luck this year at Old Bridge. I know we'll be back out again to see you soon. And time to tear it up this year and get the bats going and get Old Bridge up at the top of the at the conference.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Definitely. Kyle McSorley, our guest, big catcher at Old Bridge, junior, one of the top players in the GMC. We appreciate Kyle's time in getting the spotlight done here, and we'll see you guys out at the field.
And now, without further ado, it's our very first GMC The Quest Super 7 rankings, power rankings through Monday's games. Checking in at the 6 and 7 spots, a pair of GMC White Division rivals, both moved up from the blue, both looking strong in the early going. Spotswood 4-0, Middlesex 4-1. We know they're headed for a showdown against each other for the best small school in the White Division. Number 5, Old Bridge, 4 wins in a row. They're 5-2 overall. They're getting the strong pitching as usual. Bats picking up a little bit. Old Bridge could arise as a chief contender to St. Joe's. Number 4, Woodbridge, pacing the white division with a 6-0 record. Certainly the potential to go up. Explosive offense in the early going. Number 3, the hottest team in the red division. It's East Brunswick, 5-1, 5 straight wins since an opening day loss. They're getting the pitching. They're getting key timely hitting up and down the lineup. Monroe, 5-1, has the number 2 spot for now. Harrison Lawlin, one of the breakout stars of the GMC this year. And our number 1 team through 3 games, St. Joe's and Metuchen. They're climbing up the state rankings as well, near the number 1 spot overall, and certainly a contender in non-public A. That's it for this week. That's our Super 7.
And welcome back to the show. Here on GMC The Quest, now it's the portion of the program where we look at what is on tap for the next 7 days in the Greater Middlesex Conference.
Big week of games ahead in the GMC as teams get games in around spring break and the Easter vacation starting today, Wednesday. East Brunswick at St. Joe's. That's the 3 at the number 1 team in our rankings for a big 2-game set starting Wednesday. Woodbridge at Metuchen, a big white division battle there. On Thursday, St. Joe's returns the favor with the trip to the turf over at East Brunswick, while Middlesex travels to North Brunswick. That's a big white division showdown. On Friday, it's Sayreville invading the Swamp. The Swamp Creatures of Spotswood will shoot to take down Sayreville in a big white division game. Saturday, we have some non-league matchups that are quite appealing. South River and Spotswood, traditional small school matchup. Now Group 2 Central contenders. Hunterdon Central and South Brunswick in a big Group 4 showdown. And South Plainfield travels to Watchung Hills, one of the more underrated and powerful teams in North Jersey.
That's all the time we have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode of GMC The Quest. Join us again in 7 days for a very special episode as we preview the Autism Awareness Challenge, the weekend of April 22nd through 24th at North Brunswick Community Park. We'll talk with Mike Garlotti, scout for the Rockies, head of Baseball Warehouse, and one of the many people who put on the Autism Awareness Challenge, what it means to Middlesex and throughout New Jersey. Again, we hope you enjoyed this episode of GMC The Quest. We look forward to catching you next time and hope to see you at the field.